You're a busy nurse in California, rushing through another 12-hour shift, when you get a call that your strict, no-nonsense Lola, the grandmother who raised you with iron rules about family honor, loyalty, and never questioning the past, has fallen ill. As you clean out her old home, you stumble upon a hidden box of yellowed letters, faded photographs, and a locket with a picture of a young American soldier you've never seen before. The letters are addressed to your Lola from this man, filled with promises of a life together after the war. But here's the twist that will keep you watching until the very end. What if this forbidden love story from World War II explains why your Lola was so hard on your mom for marrying an American? And why she hid a secret that could shatter everything you thought you knew about family loyalty? Stay with me, because by the end of this story, you're going to see your own family in a whole new light. My name is Mia Reyes, and I'm a 32-year-old Filipino-American nurse living in Los Angeles, California. I was born and raised here, but my roots run deep back to the Philippines. My mom immigrated in the 1980s, chasing the American dream, and she brought with her the fierce love and even fiercer discipline of my Lola, Rosario Santos. Everyone just called her Lola Rosario. Lola was the matriarch, the one who ruled our family with an iron fist wrapped in rosary beads. Lola Rosario was strict. Oh man, was she strict? No dating until you finish college. No boys over unless they were serious and approved by her. Family first, always loyalty above everything. She drilled it into us. The family is sacred. You don't betray it, you don't question it. You protect it. She hated talking about the past, especially the war. Whenever I'd ask about her life in the Philippines during World War II, she'd brush it off. Those were hard times, no need to dwell. But there was always this sadness in her eyes, like she was carrying a weight no one else could see. I thought I knew everything about her. She was the devout Catholic who went to Mass every Sunday, the one who cooked the best adobo and lumpia, the one who scolded me for wearing shorts that were too American. But in October of this year, everything changed. It started with a phone call from my aunt in San Francisco. Lola had a stroke. She was 98 years old, living in a small apartment we'd set up for her, still independent as ever. But this time, it was serious. The doctors said she might not have much time. I dropped everything, called out from my shift at the hospital, and drove straight to her place. When I got there, Lola was in the hospital bed we'd moved into her living room, frail and quiet, which was so unlike her. She squeezed my hand and whispered, "Mia, Anak, clean the house. The box under my bed. Burn it if I'm gone." Then she drifted off. Burn it? That was odd. Lola was all about preserving family heirlooms, old photos, baptismal certificates, everything. She passed 2 days later, peacefully, thank God. We buried her with full Filipino traditions, 9 days of novena prayers, family gathering for Lamay, the works. But I couldn't shake her words. After the funeral, I went back to her apartment alone to sort things out. Under her bed was an old wooden box, locked with a tiny padlock. I found the key in her jewelry drawer, hidden behind her jade rosary. My heart was pounding as I opened it. Inside were stacks of letters tied with faded ribbon, black and white photographs, a silver locket, and a small diary with a leather cover cracked from age. The photographs hit me first. There was my Lola as a young woman, maybe 20 years old, stunningly beautiful, with long black hair and that fierce gaze even then. But she wasn't alone. In most of the photos, she was with a handsome American soldier. Tall, blonde hair, blue eyes, in uniform. He had his arm around her in one, they were laughing in another, and in a third, they were kissing under a palm tree. On the back of one photo, handwritten, Rosario and Jack, Manila, 1944. Forever. Jack. Who was Jack? Then the letters. Dozens of them, from Captain Jack Harlan, U.S. Army, to Miss Rosario Santos, somewhere in the provinces near Manila. The postmarks were from 1944 to 1946. I sat on the floor and started reading. You in that red dress, smiling despite everything you've been through. You're the bravest woman I've ever known. I promise, when this war is over, I'll come back for you. We'll build a life in America. Love, Jack. My hands were shaking. Lola had a love story? With an American soldier. During the war? I dove deeper. The letters painted a picture of a forbidden romance during one of the darkest times in Philippine history. Let me take you back to 1941. Lola Rosario was born in 1926 in a small barrio in Pampanga, just north of Manila. Her family was middle class. Her father was a schoolteacher, her mother a seamstress. Life was simple: church on Sundays, helping on the family rice farm, dreams of becoming a teacher herself. Then December 8, 1941, the day after Pearl Harbor, the Japanese bombed the Philippines. Within weeks, they invaded Luzon. Manila fell quickly, but the American and Filipino forces retreated to Bataan to hold them off. Rosario was only 15 when the occupation began. The Japanese were brutal. They seized food, forced labor, executed suspected guerrillas. In Manila and the provinces, stories of atrocities spread: rapes, bayonet killings, entire villages burned. Rosario's family fled to the countryside to avoid the worst. Her older brother joined the guerrillas, the Filipino resistance fighters hiding in the mountains, sabotaging Japanese supply lines, waiting for MacArthur's return. For 3 years, they lived in fear. Food was scarce, camote tops and rice if they were lucky. Japanese soldiers patrolled, demanding bows and searching homes. Rosario, even young, helped the resistance. She was a courier, carrying messages hidden in baskets of vegetables, risking her life because women were less suspected. In one letter from Jack, he wrote about how they met. "You saved my life that day, sneaking me medicine when I was wounded behind enemy lines. I'll never forget your courage." Turns out, near the end of the occupation, as American forces were pushing back, Jack's unit was part of a reconnaissance team that got ambushed. He was injured, separated from his platoon. Rosario found him hiding in a nipa hut near her family's farm. Instead of turning him in, for which she could have been killed, she nursed him back to health in secret. That's how it started. Hidden meetings in the bamboo groves. Stolen kisses under the stars. Jack teaching her English phrases. Rosario sharing stories of pre-war Philippines. Then came the liberation, October 1944. MacArthur waded ashore on Leyte, fulfilling his promise, "I shall return." By early 1945, the battle for Manila was raging. It was one of the bloodiest urban battles of the war. Japanese forces, knowing they were losing, went on a rampage, massacring civilians, bayoneting babies, burning hospitals. Over 100,000 Filipinos died in Manila alone. But in the provinces, as American troops advanced, there was joy mixed with horror. Liberation dances were held, soldiers and locals celebrating freedom. That's where Rosario and Jack's love blossomed openly. Photos from that time: GIs handing out chocolate and cigarettes, Filipinos waving American flags. Jack promised to marry her. He wanted to bring her to California, to his family farm in the Central Valley. "We'll have a house with a white picket fence, kids running around. You'll never have to hide again." But then, the letters stop in 1946. The last one from Jack: "I'm fighting to get the paperwork. War Brides Act, they're allowing it. Wait for me, my love. I'll send for you." There was no letter after that. Instead, in the box, a crumpled official document, a rejection from US immigration. Something about insufficient proof of relationship or quotas. Post-war bureaucracy was chaos. And then, a marriage certificate. Rosario Santos married a Filipino man, Eduardo Reyes, my Lolo, in 1948. Arranged, probably. Common back then for families to secure alliances, especially after the war devastated so many lives. In her diary, the entries broke my heart. One from 1947, Jack's letters stopped. Maybe he found someone else in America. Or maybe he died. I heard so many didn't make it home. My parents say I must forget. He's American. He'll never come back. They're arranging with Eduardo. He's kind, stable. But my heart, it still belongs to Jack. Another, I can't wait forever. The family needs me. Eduardo will provide. But every night, I dream of California. She buried it all, moved on. Had children. My mom was the youngest. Immigrated to the US ironically in the 70s, chasing better opportunities. But why so strict? Why the obsession with family loyalty? As I read more, it clicked. In one diary entry, If I had followed my heart, betrayed family expectations, what would people say? A Filipino running off with an American soldier. Scandal. And if he abandoned me? Shame on the family forever that I chose duty. But it hurts every day. She projected that pain onto us. When my mom fell in love with my dad, an American sailor she met in Subic Bay, Lola was furious. History repeats. Americans promise the world, then leave. But my parents made it work. Married 40 years now. Lola never forgave herself for betraying Jack in her heart, or for choosing duty over love. She hid the box to protect the family image. But there was one more thing in the box, a letter addressed to me, in Lola's shaky handwriting, dated just months before her stroke. Anak Ko Mia. If you're reading this, I'm gone. But you deserve the truth. Jack was my great love. He didn't abandon me. I learned years later, through a friend, that he was killed in a training accident back in the States, before the paperwork went through. He never stopped trying. I chose the safe path. Married your Lolo, had a good life. But I always wondered, what if? Don't make my mistake. Love fiercely, but family is everything. Loyalty isn't blind obedience. It's choosing what's right for your heart and those you love. I was protecting you from my pain. Mahal kita. Lola. I cried for hours. Everything made sense. Her strictness wasn't cruelty, it was fear. Fear of heartbreak, of scandal, of losing family honor in a culture where utang and lube, debt of gratitude, and higher, shame, rule everything. I dug deeper, with the info from the letters, Jack's full name, unit, I searched online. Never married, no children. And an old veterans forum post from his nephew. Uncle Jack talked about a girl in the Philippines named Rosario until his dying day. Said she was the love of his life. They both carried the torch alone. This discovery changed everything for me. I always felt torn, Filipino enough to feel the pull of tradition, American enough to want independence. Now I see Lola's life as a bridge between worlds, just like mine. Family loyalty isn't about sacrificing love. It's about honoring the sacrifices of those before us while living fully. Hey, if this story touched you, and I know it will, hit that subscribe button right now. We are diving deep into more hidden family histories, Filipino-American stories, wartime romances, and real-life revelations that will make you call your Lola or text your parents today. Turn on notifications so you don't miss the next one. And comment below. Have you ever found a family secret that changed how you see your grandparents? Back to the story, after finding the box, I flew to Arkansas. Met Jack's family, his great-nephew, who had the same blue eyes. We shared photos, stories. They welcomed me like long-lost kin. Then, on what would have been Lola's 99th birthday, we held a memorial. Filipino food on one table, American barbecue on the other. We read the letters aloud, laughed, cried. I placed the locket, now with photos of both Lola and Jack, on her grave. She finally has peace, and so do I. It doesn't shatter families, it heals them. Lola's secret love story taught me, in the end, love and loyalty aren't opposites. They're the same thing. Thank you for watching this far. If you're Filipino-American, or have a wartime family story, share in the comments. Let's keep these histories alive. Until next time, ingat always, God bless.